Hello, Star Wars fans. With Kathleen Kennedy rumored to be stepping down in September, there's been some speculation floating around the internet as to whether or not she will get to choose her successor at Lucasfilm. In my opinion, that would be a bad idea because her employees, or employees in general, tend to reflect their bosses. And supposedly the number one choice for Kathleen Kennedy would be one of her employees that she hired, Kiri Hart. Kiri Hart is the Senior Vice President of Development at Lucasfilm and is the leader of the Lucasfilm Story Group. And again, she was hired by Kathleen Kennedy, and after she was hired, she declared that she wanted to hire more women for the story group. And you can see identity politics from her declaring that. She should have been focused on getting the best people to join the Lucasfilm story group instead of what's between a person's legs. But eventually she did end up hiring about 8 guys for the story group out of 12 people. Yeah, it's just irritating. They care more about what's between someone's legs than what they can bring to the table to Lucasfilm. She also declared that she wanted to make female characters who felt real. And we got Mary Sue Ray out of that. Unfortunately, she's looking like a worse choice than even Kathleen Kennedy. At least Kathleen Kennedy had some pull in Hollywood. Nearly 30 years of experience working in the movie industry as a producer. This woman has nothing. Supposedly she's a real fan of Star Wars, but she's in charge of making sure that the movie scripts from the directors did not break Star Wars lore, and somehow we got the lightspeed suicide attack from Admiral Holdo in The Last Jedi, and because of that we can no longer have ships. We can no longer have large ships larger than a starfighter because it would be stupid when you can just lightspeed a starfighter into it, and that takes care of the threat. There is no threat in Star Wars anymore because of this woman's, her telling Rian Johnson that, yeah, that's okay. And the numerous plot holes in The Last Jedi, they were Rian Johnson's fault, but this person did not raise an eyebrow, did not bring the issue up to Rian Johnson, it seems. And if she's not able to bring up her opinions, to voice concerns about the films before their release, how is she going to be this person's boss? She has to exert her will on the employees, and that's not going to happen. It just seems like a terrible choice for Disney if they allow Kathleen Kennedy to choose Kiri Hart as her successor. And I don't know if there's any legitimacy to the speculation. I, for one, would like Dave Filoni. And unfortunately, he doesn't seem to be the type that wants to take over for Kathleen Kennedy. He'd rather stay involved with the projects that he's already on. And another option would be George Lucas. But I think he's out. I think he does not want anything more to do to Star Wars. It broke his heart from the backlash from the prequel trilogy. And that was before the internet really grew big. So he got the milder version of backlash compared to what Kathleen Kennedy, Rian Johnson, and Disney Star Wars is getting right now. And so I don't think he could handle it if he made a bad movie here. So right now, it's looking grim just from that one speculation. But the whole Lucasfilm entirely should be drained. It seems to be a cesspool right now of SJW politics, and it would be best for Disney to realize that they would be better off making more money if they replaced a bunch of Kathleen Kennedy's hires and brought in competent people, focusing on competency versus what's between someone's legs, their opinions on politics, and just got the best people for the job. Of course, avoiding the abrasive people that no one wants to work with. That should be their only concern. Competency and someone that's fun to work with. And they might be able to recover the Star Wars brand slowly, not immediately, but slowly over the years, if they hire someone who's more focused on making money and good films over injecting identity politics into a well-loved movie franchise. If they got Carrie Hart, it'd be suicide. It'd be bleeding money everywhere. And honestly, Disney has to recoup their losses, and bringing on Carrie Hart to take over Kathleen Kennedy's job is the bad decision. She's just more the same, and Disney needs to change up Lucasfilm at this point. That's all that needs to be said.